The Northern Governors Forum has asked the federal government to redouble its efforts to tackle the menace of banditry, kidnapping, terrorism, and other related security challenges bedeviling the region. The governors also said they are working collectively to ensure that the tragic accidental military airstrike in the Tundumbiri, Kaduna state is thoroughly investigated. In his opening remarks at the governors' meeting in Kaduna on Friday, the chairman of the forum and governor of Gombe State, Yahaya, noted that the security challenges have drastically affected socio-economic well-being of the people of the north. While commending the federal government for the renewed vigor in the fight against insecurity, Governor Yahaya noted that more needs to be done to bring an end to the menace of banditry. Let's also tell you that the combined troops of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji in Nigeria have again descended on terrorists in Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria. This is in continuation of the onslaught against terrorists to ensure hitch-free Yuletide festival through a series of coordinated clearances and offensive operations in its areas of responsibility. The offensive clearance operation, which took place on the 14th of December at the Baoni village and Baoni forest in the state, led to a gun battle that lasted for several hours. However, troops' aggressiveness and the firepower superiority forced the terrorists to abandon their hideouts and flee, leading to the rescue of 6 kidnapped victims, while 3 terrorists were neutralized and 2 AK-47 rifles were recovered, as well as other ammunition. Of course, security expert Inko-Tariah Ipalibo joins me to discuss this further. Thank you so much for your time, Inko-Tariah.
Thank you for having me.
Now let's talk about the challenges the military face in addressing the threat of Boko Haram and other extremist groups in Nigeria. What are your thoughts?
Well, the challenges are enormous, but essentially we are talking about sabotage and then the lack of modern technology and insufficient manpower to fight Boko Haram and other terrorist groups in Nigeria.
Okay, are you there? Okay. Please continue.
Okay, so I said, essentially the challenges that the military is facing in combating Boko Haram and other terrorist groups ranges from sabotage, lack of modern technology and insufficient manpower, and as well as religious sentiments.
Now, what role do local and traditional rulers or leaders play in addressing insecurity in the region?
Traditional rulers play vital roles because within their domain, they are expected to be the chief security officers. So it is required of them to organize the youths into security units, fund the necessary training that is required to enable the youths to gather intelligence and also provide surveillance that will intercept or prevent bandits from encroaching into their domains.
Now, can you highlight the main differences between the security challenges facing northern Nigeria and other parts of the country?
There is basically no difference in terms of operations, except when you want to consider in terms of magnitude and the frequency of occurrence. Banditry and kidnapping occurs in the north as well as the south, but we have more of banditry in the north, and then we have farmers' herders crisis as a security challenge in the north. And then we have, of course, militancy in the south. So essentially no difference. Nigeria as a nation is bedeviled with serious insecurity issues ranging from banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, terrorism, and others.
Now, how can radicalization and recruitment of young people into these groups be prevented?
But first of all, you have to identify the young people within the region that are idle, and then divert their passion into more productive and creative activities. Because if they are not gainfully employed, or if they are not engaged in productive activities, then they will have the time to become vulnerable to radicalization and extremist teachings that is ongoing. So it's expected that the various leaders of the various communities where these young people are would identify them and then create an activity that would divert their attention and make them productive and meaningful members of the society.
All right, Inko-Tariah, Ipalibo, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.